Welcome to TrackMind TV, another episode of the Flashpoint Show. This is where not only we impact lives or inspire, but also give encouragement and hope to people out there. And today I am joined by my guest, who is Joe, and he's gonna give us just a bit of a life story. Someone said and quoted that behind every glory, there's a story, and we are sure gonna want to hear what he has in store for us today. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
Yeah, and even as we start up this conversation, you can tell us more of who is Joe.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Saying for every glory, there's a story. Okay, I'm still growing. I'm still growing, not yet there, but it's a process. So my name is Joe Luchiri. I've been born and bred in Kibera. And growing up in Kibera, you know, is a very interesting place.
Yeah.
So many different people have their stories on Kibera. Some are true, some are not.
True.
But I've had my experience firsthand. Yeah, so I also thank God that I really grew up there, because that's the place that has shaped me in my character, in talk about resilience, talk about anything that I am right now. The reason why I'm seated here is because I got a chance to be in Kibera. So my dad lost his job, we tulijipata Kibera, and that's how life started. But God was very gracious enough to give me good friends, to get me a good school. And that's where I've grown, even as a leader, as a person, and that's why I'm here.
Wow. So you said you just lost your dad, and
I didn't. He lost his job.
Oh,
yeah.
he lost his job. And how did it come to you? Like, at what age were you in a position to understand that now life is gonna take a turn? Or yes.
Yeah. So I was young that time. I think in class 4 there. Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't understand that time because, you know, things were shifting and everything. But with time, I came to understand. Yeah. But now that's how now life took another shape, and that's how life started. And I have grown out of the mercies and the grace of God. But one thing I really appreciate even about my parents and about my surrounding is that my parents never stopped supporting me. And I said it's one thing to have wealth and everything, but it's another thing to mentor and to nurture. So that's what my parents have given me, and my friends and the people I've met in Kibera. They have really nurtured and really inspired a fire in me to make the world a better place. And that's why we came up with an organization in Kibera called Kibesco, Kibera Educational, Social and Cultural Organization, where we are mentoring leaders. Our vision is to raise visionary leaders and faithful stewards who are aspiring to bring positive change and positive change and transformation in the society.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even let me cut you short. Even before coming to Kibesco, this program, you can share with us, where did it all start? Like, how did you come up? You didn't just wake up and say, I'm starting this program called Kibesco. Yeah. So where did it all start from? Okay,
so growing up in Kibera, seeing the conditions of, you know, people who are living in Kibera and the youth and everything, I was really asking myself a lot of questions. Why do we have the condition that we have? Why do we have the realities that we have in Kibera, in other urban slums, and in the majority of young people in Kenya? Realize Kenya has a population of 75% young people, right? So I was just asking myself, what made this? Because I realized conditions and realities are made by people, right? So as I'm growing up, going into leadership spaces, I was in Olympic Primary School. I don't know if you know about it. Actually, currently is the school that hosts the highest number of pupils in Kenya. I think about 5,000 right now. So now growing up in Olympic, going to school there, going into leadership, and it was really good. You know, we used to do elections, and when I reached to class 8, I ran for the president post. So I was elected as the president, I think, with 3,000 votes there. So that was already leadership, mentorship that time. So I realized when I was president, with all that I had with my heart to make even the school a better place, I made it a better place. So as I'm even discovering more about leadership, I came to find out that proper leadership affects the people's lives positively. Yeah. So the quality of life or the quality of lives in different countries, in different places is determined by the quality of leadership. And that's why I came to realize we have to build leaders, actually young leaders who can be able to have the quality to forge a nation forward, to forge a society forward. And that's why we needed a platform that can be able to do that. That's why we came up with Kibesco. So growing up with young leaders in Kibera really inspired me. What can we do? Because I got a good mentorship from my parents and few people I met even on my way, as even going to high school and everything. So I wanted to give the same to the people, to the young people in Kibera. That's why we started at Kibesco.
Wow, that is so nice. And looking at how leaders are being handled even at this time, we're seeing demonstrations in our country. We are seeing like there's a gap, there's something missing in this leadership, the government's leadership. And so that is so nice to come up with a program where you can mentor these young people, us now, who carry the vision into becoming good leaders. And coming to now Kibesco, now you can tell us more about what kind of training do you give out in terms of now leadership? You mentor leaders. Yeah, tell us more about it.
Okay, so we have various programs in Kibesco from our vision, because we have said we are targeting to raise visionary leaders and faithful stewards. Because we realize for a nation, for our people to move forward, then people have to be very visionary, especially even in Kenya.
True.
You know, just trying to find out why I was still a third world country. And Singapore, 1963, we were at the same GDP with Singapore, right? So you're trying to see what's the problem that we really have in leadership. Yeah, so we realize that the leaders we have in Kenya are not visionary. And if they are visionary, they are not faithful stewards. Yeah, so we are having programs around building a leader who is very visionary, who can be able to forge the nation forward, who can be able to die for a particular cause, who knows that he's leading not just for themselves, but for a greater cause. Yeah, and faithful stewards, because realize when you're entrusted with something, you have to be faithful with it.
True.
That's where integrity comes in. That's where accountability comes in. That's where transparency comes in. Yeah. So when you are a leader, you are a steward.
Yes.
You have been given things by God just to govern on his behalf. That's why he calls us shepherd. Yeah. Yeah. That's why even Jesus at a particular time says a good shepherd never leaves his flock. Right? He knows that everything that he owns, he can give his life for the flock.
Yeah.
And those are the kinds of leaders that we want to build. The leaders whose heart beats for the people. They dream the people. They breathe the people. Yeah, they can be able to see the future and bring the people to that place. Yeah. Talk about visionary leaders. These are people who bring the impossible to possible.
Yes.
Right? When we talk about Kibera, talk about urban slums, talk about the cost of living, the state of our nation right now. We need leaders who can be able to look into the future with eyes that not everyone has.
Yeah.
We need leaders who can be able to bring those things from the realm of impossibility to the realm of possibility. So we are having trainings in high schools and also trainings on leaders who have finished high school, who are in campuses, and they are leading in different capacities in their campuses, in the organizations. Yeah. So we have one program called Chipuka. This aims to target leaders who are from 18 to 26 years of age, because we feel 18 to 26 you can still bend. You know, there's some people who are too mature. They already have their own convictions. They say actually when someone is 35, he's already built with the convictions he has gotten as they are growing up. Yeah. So we saw it fit, we can be able to deal with 18 to 26. Then we have another one called Chipuka Student Leaders Edition, where we go to high schools. We have started in Kibera, but we're seeing people asking us, can you come even to Kilifi and everything? But right now, as we grow, we'll go there, depending on our capacity.
Wow.
Yeah, we also have talk shows, bi-monthly talk shows, where we just open up conversations on governance, because we have to be involved. We have to realize that if we do not take the responsibility to groom ourselves, to give ourselves continuously to the things that matter, right? Because we have been stereotyped even as young people that we are not interested in politics, we're not interested in governance, and that's the thing we are trying to face, right? They're saying Gen Z, they are not interested in these things. And the future belongs to us. We are the ones to to create the future. So we have to involve ourselves in such conversations. And that's why we are opening it up. We normally have like barazas and talk shows where we have panel just of young people talking about. Recently, in the Saturday, we had one on Mandamano. What is our take on Mandamano? And it was very vibrant. Yeah. So, yeah, we also have conferences, annual conferences called Leadership 360, yeah, where we just talk about leadership as in a 360 degrees angle. Yeah, we invite speakers of different capacities. Like recently, last year, we had like the likes of Kina Karen Wakoli of Emerging Leaders Foundation Africa, gracing the event, Neri Mawako of Siasa Place. Yeah, and we are growing. We are seeing our generation grow each and every day.
Wow, that is so amazing. Actually, coming to Kibesco, how old or
actually we are 2 years old. We started Kibesco when I was in Form 4. Just the other day, during the Corona COVID-19 period, 2020. Okay. So we were at home, and I felt this is the right time, right? Because I was already pioneering things even in high school. I was coming up with new ideas, and I felt now we are at home for a long time. So I just gathered my friends, told them to invite their friends, and that's how we started. With no plan, with no nothing, but with the idea, but taking the first step. So we've grown into all these things. We talk about structures and everything. We've just grown into them. But that we had to translate it to something. So once we did that, all these things now are falling into place, now having like structures and administration and everything. Yeah.
Wow. So someone said that you cannot start something unless you take the first step. Yeah, that's the beginning of starting something. Yeah. And okay, wow, Kibesco, let's talk more about it. How is the impact? How have you felt the impact to now these young leaders that you are being mentoring in Kibera? What's the outcome, like the feedback? Yes, from them.
So even,
are we seeing there's a lot of impact in them that is going to impact other lives out there?
Yeah, so going into it, we realized one thing we needed to face, and that was mindset. Because looking just at the state of, my fellow young people where we were at, we needed to expose them to another place where everything is possible. Because when someone has grown up in a place where things don't, seem to be working, you have to really change their mindset. And that's what we did. We really worked really hard on the mindset. And right now we are getting results. We're getting results. People have gone and multiplied what we gave them. People are hosting events in their universities and everything. Yeah, there's so many. We have reached close to 700 lives directly.
Wow.
So that's directly. So indirectly can be even 3,000 there, because when you mentor a leader, you're mentoring a generation behind that leader. So you have not just mentored one life, you've mentored numerous others.
Even nations.
Yeah, so we've had even people who have started even organizations. Charitable organizations, all these things. And we bless the Lord.
Amen. So to this, we can see like a generation that's ahead of us. If we take that line, we're going to a very we can say a very impactful generation out there. A generation that has impact, has positivity, and has good leadership. Yes. And so let me take you back to now, again, leadership. As we see our leaders right now, do you think in as much as we are impacting, we are teaching these young leaders the right way to do and to handle leadership, to be good stewards? What can you say about the impact that our leaders right now in the government are bringing? What can you comment? Is it positive or negative? How our leaders are handling issues? Yes, what can you say about that?
I'm not very much impressed with the leadership of the country right now, be it the parliament, be it the executive. And we can see even the issue we have right now, the Mandamano issue, and just recently, yesterday, I think they called it off. But to realize that this is something that would have been dealt with in a better way. Because realize on one angle, we do not have very responsible leaders. And that's why I normally tell my fellow young leaders, if we do not take the responsibility to groom ourselves, nobody will groom us. These leaders and politicians we have are very selfish. They want to just groom their own people, right? And they do not just want to groom their own people. They're very selfish that they want to give the leadership position just to their generations. And we have other people who can be able to lead and be able to realize better realities in our nation. One thing that Kenya has failed is that we do not have leaders who are good role models, leaders who can be able to look up to. And the problem is even the ones who have gone ahead of us, maybe they have performed. The thing is, the difficult thing is when young leaders are elected to office, when one fails, they say every young leader. So they profile young leaders as those ones. So there are some people who have gone ahead of us and destroyed maybe the doors that we would have gone into. They have closed those doors, right? But we do not give up hope. Yeah, we continue to struggle, and sometimes it's taken. Power is taken. Yeah, we have to be deliberate to go for it, to hunger for it, and to take it from them, because they may not be good role models right now, but that's why we have the opportunity to become better role models than them, so that we model the other generations that come. So they have failed. That's okay. And we know from the word go, these people do not have the interest of young people at heart. We are the ones in demonstrations. Tunarusha mawe. Look at those maandamano. We see tunarusha mawe, but where is the space of young people? Where is the place of young people, even in the issues raised, right? So we are the ones to take the responsibility, make sure that we grow each and every day, open up spaces for ourselves, right? And groom ourselves. Then after that, we can be able to have a better nation. And it will be painful, and we have to be ready for it.
We have to be ready to pay the cost for the coming generation. Yes, true. And now, zeroing into Kibesco again, you said that you're now 2 years. And what kind of challenges have you faced? And how have you been able to cope with them?
Okay, when you have a vision, don't worry about provision. Especially if you have a vision that is birthed from God. That's why when you are birthing a vision, you have to be aligned to purpose. So you are not doing something out of your purpose. So like staying in line with God, communing with God each and every time, prayer and everything aligns you to your purpose. And now God drops. Not just sometimes we think, what is my... No, when you pray, God aligns you. And then even in your times of communion, times of prayer, God places a burden in you, whether knowingly or unknowingly. So when you are born of the Spirit, God is the one thinking through your thoughts, right? So once you are sure that this is a divinely birthed vision, God will provide for it. Whether it is through money, because don't limit resources. When you talk about resources, by the way, people just think it's money, but resources can come in different we have human resource and everything. So challenges have been money here and there, but God has always been our provider. That's what I can say. What I normally do with God is when we prepare a vision. Okay, this is how we think we can be able to work out our way towards the vision. Now this is our plan. Now provide for the funds. Someone will just come and tell you, I do not have this money, but maybe I have cameras. Maybe you have a budget, media budget. I'll bring the camera. We do the I do not have this money, but I can provide for you a venue. You come and do your... So sometimes it's not about the money. The money will get you going. But they never wait for money to start anything. You'll never start. We started when we had nothing, right? But we just started, and that intent. And you realize even sometimes, we normally, in 2020, we had programs every Saturday of the year. So you may not even have money from Monday to Thursday. But on Friday, God gives the money because He knows there's a vision you carry for Him, for your generation. So on Saturday, you'll have the money to do a venue or a training. So as you start, it's not about the money, it's about the intent. It's about what you have in you. It's about the love that you have for your people and for the vision. It's about your hunger. How bad do you want it? By the way, when you're going into it and you're doing it because of money, you'll fail. Because at first you have to use your money. You have to invest your resources, your time, your mind, your everything, your strength. But when you want money so fast,
Mm.
you will be frustrated because it doesn't come so fast.
So the
So
goal
it's about,
shouldn't be the money
it's not about
that
the
I'll
money.
get out of this idea.
Money follows value. Build
Uh-huh.
value.
Build
Money will
value.
follow value. Yeah.
Wow. That's my take home. Build value. Wow, that is so nice. And maybe you can tell us, you told us like Kibesco has been running now at Kibera. What other achievements have you made, like in Chipuka, in those programs, Chipuka for the young leaders? Yes. What kind of achievements as Kibesco have you achieved?
I think I mentioned part of it when I was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're having public speakers emerge, leaders in corporate space, leaders who are going to lead churches in future, youth pastors and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're mentoring all these kinds of leaders because I realize this is God's end time strategy.
Wow.
He doesn't want just to invade the church space, but that marketplace space. Yeah, he's sending sons. We are the centers. If you are in Rema Feast when Selman was talking about it, you are the centers. Yeah, going into every space. Yes. The 7 mountains of influence. God wants to, because God is the one that raised King David. So He cares about leadership. He's a leader himself. That's why He said, I'm the King of Kings. Who are these other kings? We are the kings.
We are the kings.
I'm the Lord of Lords. Who are these other lords? We are the lords. Because He said, Ye are lords. That's why I tell you, you guys, all of you are children of the Most High. So once you come to a particular consciousness or a particular understanding, you can be able to come up with very strange results. Yeah, no matter your age. No matter your age. Once you start to align yourself with God, He gives you giants as you grow. That's why we look at the life of David. It started with lion, the bear, and then he met Goliath. And after killing Goliath, the nations. They say Saul killed 1,000s, David 10,000. Yeah, so we're having public speakers emerge. We're having people in business emerge.
Wow.
We're having people in all these spaces, corporate spaces. Yeah, and we thank God.
Amen. I'd love you to even speak to my dear viewer who's an upcoming leader. Just tell him or her something that encourage that person. You know, right now, coming into being a leader of a certain group, you face a lot of we face a lot of challenges. People don't want to associate with you that much, don't want to listen to you. They don't want that direction, to take that direction. We also have our say, like those such kind of challenges. Yeah, you can encourage someone who's out there, a leader.
I would just tell my fellow young leader, actually everyone is a leader. Because the seed of leadership is in everyone.
Yeah,
the problem is not everyone discover the seed of leadership in them. So just a few, they discover and nurture it. Because everyone, by the way, when you check your life, any time in life you will be in a sphere of influence. Talk about positional leadership, talk about moral authority, all these things. So I'll just encourage that young leader to continue nurturing the seed of leadership and never give up. I know resistances are there, especially if your vision is from God. Once you tell your vision to the world, also the devil has had it. Yeah, he will fight it. There will be a lot of resistance. And that's where resilience comes in. That's a place where God now stretches you, stretches your patience, stretches your ability to be sober.
Yeah.
That's why you get all kinds, by the way, when you are starting, you get all kinds of provocations. But that's where the place of training, that's your cave of Adullam. That's where God is training you. He's stretching you on all fronts. Your capacity to be able to hold a meaningful conversation. Can you be able to hold a meaningful conversation? Can you be able to be sober? Can you be able to give direction to a particular people? Can you be able to maintain your calmness? Because you have to be when you're a leader, you have to be wary of your Judas and your Thomas. Because we realize, like even the life of Jesus, he had a team. Because you cannot do it on your own unless your vision is too small, right?
True.
Yeah, but you'll have a team. You have to be really patient. You have to be those people who are for you, even as you start, they will maybe at one time speak against you. The words you used for their benefit, they will use those words against you. So never give up, never lose hope. I've been there, and as I'm still growing, I know I'll get some of these things as we grow. But as we know better, we do better. So just continue giving yourselves to growth. continue giving yourselves to spaces where we can be able to grow and to build your capacity and to be able to lead better.
Wow.
Yeah, I just want to encourage them, continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Never lose hope. Maybe someone told me, I've never forgotten.
Yeah.
Joe, never lose hope. And that was Nirima when she came to our event last year.
Wow.
One sentence that I remember from her is that one. Never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Hope.
I just want to extend it to my viewers. Never give up. Never ever give up. Even when things seem like there's nothing happening. There's that place where there's that time you reach, you're asking yourself, am I really making impact? Am I wasting my time?
True.
You are investing everything in there.
Yeah.
What am I really doing?
Results.
And then things, there's a time you'll be even alone. But you have to believe in your vision when no one else believes in it. Yeah, that's where a place God teaches you to believe in it. You have to believe in it first. Yeah.
And talking about growth, you've said we need to experience that stretch so that you can grow. Talking about it, how can someone enroll at Kibesco? We need to acquire those skills as leaders.
Yeah, you can email us at kibescokenya@gmail.com. You can also just shoot us a DM in our social media platforms. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yeah, very soon we are going to LinkedIn. We are also on YouTube. You can reach us there. We have our programs are tailor-made for every young people, not just for. We have started in Kibera. That's where we started, but our programs can really help anyone because by the way, some of our programs we have even close to 50% of the participants coming from outside Kibera.
Wow.
Yeah. So where there is value, people look for it.
Yeah, sure. Wow, thank you very much. I'm so delighted to have you in this show, but it's unfortunate. Okay, it's fortunate that we have to wrap it up, but it was so good and glad to have you in this show, talking about leadership and enlightening us what we need. Like we feel there's a gap in our leadership as a country, as a nation, as a generation, and it's something that we need to face and be there to grow and agree for and just to grow in this space. Yes, thank you very much, Joe. And we're so glad. And my dear viewer over there, thank you for taking this time to listen to this show. And I believe you've gotten something from this talk. And as you have heard, you can reach out to them. And if you want to grow your skills in leadership, you can reach out to Kibesco in all their social media platforms. And for me, I've been your host, Grace, and this is the Track Mind, and this is the Spotlight Show. And you can find us in all our social media platforms at Track Mind TV. Thank you and see you in our next episode.